So Kansas, 2 games left. Kansas 12-4, Texas 11-5. Kansas State and Baylor. K-State's gotten hot after their little slump. Baylor comes back down 18-4 and looked putrid, and UT looked really good and ended up at one point Baylor leading by 17. They hang on to win to get to 10-6. And today they're 7th in the country, despite a week ago getting blitzed by Kansas State. The impressive win against Texas, even though it's home, that is a part of the top 10 with KU, Baylor, and Texas. K-State right outside at number 11.
Yeah, Baylor was fantastic in the second half. Well, I mean, really, towards the end of the first half, and really fantastic in the second half against Texas. And that was after losing Keontae George, who at least missed tonight's game against Oklahoma State. And I wouldn't be surprised if he missed the Iowa State game as well with that sprained ankle, just to make sure he is as healthy as he can be for the March run that the Bears are going to need to go on. But it was really, really, Jalen Bridges was the spark plug the other day. I mean, I know that they had a lot of contributions from everybody, including guys like Dale Bonner off the bench who came in and played well. But they really, really came at the Longhorns in waves and kept the guards really off kilter. Marcus Carr and Tyrese Hunter didn't really make an impact in the game until later. Disu was really the only thing they had going consistently most of the game, and they managed to get him in foul trouble. So really nice bounce back game for Baylor. Wasn't surprised that Texas shooting went down after the crazy night they had against Iowa State, but I was surprised it went down that much.
Yeah, I mean, a really nice win. Good to get that after the disappointment against K-State and kind of, sitting there without your Big 12 hopes really being all that realistic after that K-State loss because of just the way the standings are. So you could imagine Keontae George getting hurt early, getting down early, just kind of wonder how they respond on any given night. And they've responded more often than not, but it's good to see them respond, another time and step up to the challenge, step up to some adversity, and have a total team effort in the absence of Keontae George, who, is going to miss tonight and wouldn't be surprising, I think, if he missed the Iowa State game as well, depending on the severity of his ankle injury, although they said it's just day-to-day. You just never know with those types of things. But that could have gone real wrong with him, leaving the game as early as he did. But Paul ran down basically the whole roster contributed in some form or fashion. Bonner off the bench. Bridges has been great, time and again. And, Flo Thamba had a big game. A lot of guys chipped in. So, yeah, that was huge to get that. Kansas now on top of the standings. It's just amazing how, they are just always there, no matter, what kind of moment they might have during the season where people are like, maybe is this Kansas going to be the year that they're not that, they're just always there year in and year out. So to see them back on top of the standings, there's a couple games to go, but Texas right there is going to be fun, to see this finish. And this Big 12 tournament's going to be insane here in a few days. That's going to be some must-watch basketball. So, yeah, great win for Scott Drew and company. Let's see how they finish out this week.
Houston, number 1, Alabama, number 2, Kansas, 3. Baylor is 7, Texas 9, Kansas State 11, TCU and A&M 22, A&M 24. They were beaten over the weekend, but they're 24, host Alabama this week. And then also Marquette, a team that hammered Baylor. Shaka Smart has a hell of a team. They're at number 6, just to throw them in that mix too. The games tonight, Baylor at Oklahoma State, ESPN at 8. And West Virginia playing Iowa State on the road on ESPN2, also at 8. Tomorrow, Kansas hosts Texas Tech. And then Texas at TCU, Oklahoma at Kansas State Wednesday. And the final day, including that Kansas game in Austin against Texas to close out the regular season. Keontae George will not play tonight. He did go out with an ankle sprain. And what that allowed were some other guys to maybe breathe a little bit, get some opportunities. In Bonner and Bridges was great in that game. Great is a word we use too much. He was great across the board with what he did in that game. All right, one quick note, and this is because the Big 12 has gotten so good and has been good. Kansas, of course, ran the conference forever, and they might win it again outright this year as far as the regular season. Who knows what happens in Kansas City. Here are the teams